Hello, everyone. Good morning. I want to welcome you to another day in the season of spiritual recharge. If you are here, I encourage you to invite others, send the links, and get them to come in to be charged up for this morning. The season of spiritual recharge this year is focused on the practice of faith through meditation and practicing divine consciousness. We have a story in Numbers chapter 13. Bible tells us about the story of Moses who sent the 12 spies into the promised land, the land of Canaan, to see how the land is like and bring back report. We are told that 12 of them went and 10 brought back an evil report, 2 brought back a good report. This story is allegorical. It is pointing to the life of faith that we now have, and it is showing us the formula for a miracle, the formula for victory. See, the Bible says when Moses sent the 12 spies, they were in the wilderness, they were in the desert, they were still on their journey. See, the wilderness represents your present day situation, the life that you now are, the condition of your life presently. That is what the wilderness represents. Canaan, on the other hand, represents the life you desire to have. It represents the promise of God. It represents that place you would like to be, that person you would like to be, that thing you would like to have, that prayer point that you have. See, Canaan represents the promise. The 12 spies represents your ability to travel into psychologically, all right, in your imagination, travel into that place of being a haver of that thing. It means your ability to travel into your desired life through meditation and the power of imagination. Those are the 12 spies. See, when you pray, because this story is telling us how God expects us to receive the miracles that we desire in our lives. See, when you have a challenge, you have a difficulty, you want to change something about the life that you now have. It is not pleasing to you, it is not pleasant to you, but you want to do something about it. There is a way, brothers and sisters. There is a way. See, that is one of the things that shows us the justice of God. The justice of God is seen. The what's the word now? Impartiality of God. See, because we were not all born equal circumstance of life. We are not all born with silver spoon. We are not all born with the best parents, the best condition of life. We are not born with the best environment. But listen, you can change anything you find in yourself to be inconsistent with the life you truly want to have. You can change anything in your life that is not going in the direction of the will of God, what you believe to be the will of God for your life. Whether it is outward circumstance or your inward character, something, a habit, that you picked because of the environment in which you are brought up. You can change it by the law of faith. You can change your financial situation. You can change your health condition. You can change anything by the law of faith. Again, apply the law of faith as seen in the story of the Old Testament, as seen in this story in Numbers 13. In other words, where you are now, you might be in the wilderness of your life. You must be able to send your 12 spies. All right, just send your spies into that place that God has promised you, into that place that you desire to be. See, you do this imaginatively. You are able to enter into the life of a haver of that thing that you desire. Nothing changes until your mindset changes. The concept of yourself that you have must change. It must be adjusted. You must be able, your spies must be able to enter into that land and come back with fruits. The fruit you come back with is the testimony that that thing is yours and can be yours. The testimony that it is real, it is tangible, and it's available for you. See, the confession of your mouth must be the testimony that you have entered into that place you desire psychologically. You have entered it by faith. You have entered it in the spirit. That you have entered that place in your imagination, in your meditation, that you have seen the reality of that place, that you have been there, you have felt it, you have touched it, and it is yours now. See, your confession should be born out of the fact that you have been there in your consciousness. See, confession is not you trying to make God do something for you that he hasn't yet done. That is not the confession of the Bible. Confession of the Bible is simply declaring that you now have what God promised you. That is faith. Remember, I shared with us that believing is entering into the state of your consciousness fulfilled. In other words, believing means that you change the concept of yourself that you have and you dare to claim that you are now that person that you wish to be, that you now have that thing that you want to have, that you now possess the things that you wish to possess, the things you prayed for, the things you have asked God for, that you now have it. You see, friends, when you are asking God for something in the place of prayer, your prayer only works until this moment is realized. What is this moment I'm talking about? There must be a moment, a particular moment, where you are no longer asking, you have now switched into one who has now received the things he's asking for. It's like a man. Say you have a rich dad, you have a rich uncle, something somewhere, and you are someplace else. You want some financial help from him, so you call your uncle or your dad and you say, "Dad, I need such and such amount of money. I'm in a place, blah blah blah." And your dad said, "It's all right," and he sends you the money. Maybe you've been asking, and then for some reason you are able to convince him. And then he says, "Okay, I send you the money." And then he credits it into your bank account. See, you haven't yet gotten the money. The money is not yet in your hand. You haven't yet seen the money. But there must be that time, that switch. That is that moment where you get the information that the money has now been sent into your account. You get the alert that you have now been credited. Once you get the alert, you stop asking your dad, you stop asking your uncle for that money. There's got to be something. There's got to be that thing that happens where there is a switch that you now have received what you're asking for. It happens in your mind. It happens in your heart. You see? A person who has received the alert doesn't keep asking for the money. If you're going to talk to your dad about that money again, you're going to say thank you. See, there must be that switch. There must be that time where you have entered into the state of your wish fulfilled, where you now believe that you have that thing, although you haven't yet seen that thing. That mindset that you now have that thing, even though you have not physically seen it yet, that is what is called Bible faith. That is what is called Bible believing. Believing is to enter into the state of a haver of the thing that you were wishing for. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not yet seen. You believe, you have an evidence. You know that you know that you know that you now have that thing. But how do you get there? The thing happens in your mind. God is not the one holding you. Until you are able to change the consciousness that you have, See, if you are able to successfully change your consciousness and truly believe that you now have that thing, you do that while you pray. You do that. A simple way to achieve that is while you pray, you see in your imagination, enter into what the life you would have if you had that thing. Ask yourself, what joy would I feel if I had the thing? Use your imagination. All right? Create a drama over having that thing. Adjust your life now to look like you already have that thing while your eyes are closed. See, we don't need to close our eyes in prayer. In fact, the only reason we close our eyes during prayer is to see visions of God. Is to see that thing you are asking for, you're praying in the spirit, is to see that thing. See yourself living in that life that you now have it. That's why you close your eyes. So to close away all distraction. Closing your eyes doesn't mean God hears your prayer better. It just means you're not distracted. You are able to transport yourself into a hava of that thing. And you see it in your heart. So while you are still in the wilderness, send your spies into the land of promise and let them come back with fruit. The fruit is the confession that you now have what God says you have while you have not yet entered into it. This is the formula for victory. This is the formula for a miracle. There's got to be a formula shown throughout the word of God that if you will do this thing, you're going to get a miracle anytime. And indeed, there is a formula. That's what I just shared with you. That is what is in the scriptures via different stories. This is what we have in our Bible. You can change anything in your life, brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter how bad the economic situation is, brother. Don't live in it. Don't let that consciousness enter you that how am I going to survive? Things are getting bad. Things are getting more expensive. How are we going to survive? We're in trouble. And you're letting that consciousness eat you up. See, you become the 10 spies who came back with an evil report. Instead of them, see, every one of us have the ability to travel into our tomorrow, to travel into our future. But the 10 spies who come back with evil report are those who travel into that. They are praying. They're asking God for something. But in their minds, all they keep seeing is how bad things are. How bad things will get. They are the 10 spies who come back with evil report. And guess what? They will never be able to enter into the promised land. Because they went to the promised land and all they see is the giants. And all they see is the children of Anak. And all they see is their inability. How that they are like grasshoppers in their sight. And that is not true. But if you be like the two, Caleb and Joshua, who entering into the promised land, says they come back with a good report. Say, if the Lord delights in us, He will give us this land. Let us go at once and possess our possession. They shall be bread for us. That's how you speak. You see the economic downturn rather. You see the difficulties in your nation today. You see the financial challenges you have. You say, this too is bread for me. This too shall pass. I'm made for a successful life. And that's exactly what I will have. All right? You keep this in your consciousness. Refuse to back down. Refuse to cower into the difficulties of the present life that you now have. Refuse to speak negative about yourself. Refuse to speak according to the condition of your life today. See the great life that God promised you. See that life that you can have. Insist. Although the conditions presently don't look like it, you keep your mind, you keep your eyes on the blessings that God has promised you. Brother, sister, if you can change the consciousness, the concept of yourself that you carry, as you're sitting there, there is something you believe about yourself. There is a consciousness of yourself that you carry. Every one of us have it. There's something you believe about yourself. There's something you believe is your level. There's something you believe you are worthy of. There's something you believe is too high for you. There is a concept of yourself you have. If you can change the concept of yourself to accommodate what you are believing for, what you're praying for, what you're asking for, nothing shall be impossible unto you. Your wish will come to pass. Your desire will come to pass. And you will see the miracle come to pass in your life. Go put this to work today. You can experience miracles every day. God is on your side, and no man can hold you back from that thing God has promised you. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. God bless you.